Tribe, and welcome to today's edition of Anju Asks. I'm here at One World International School, and I'm here with Mark Renee, who is the head of school at One World International's newest campus coming up at Suntec. So, a little introduction to One World International School. There are two established campuses already. One which is a full school with 1,200 students going from kindergarten up to grade 12. That's in Nanyang, where we are today. And there's another one for early learners, which is in the east, in Mountbatten. And we're eagerly anticipating the opening of the newest campus, which will be opening hopefully in a couple of weeks' time at Suntec. So thank you for joining me today, Mark, to tell us a little bit about the new campus, which is right in the heart of the city. When I think of Suntec, I don't necessarily think of a school, I have to be honest. I think about office towers, I think about shopping malls, I think about F&B. So what was the thinking to bring the new campus to Suntec?
First of all, Andrew, thank you very much for having me. I appreciate you being here and take this opportunity to talk about the new Suntec campus. I think the rationale behind the Suntec campus has a lot to do with the fact that we looked at how education has changed since COVID and
Right.
how we could meet those expectations of parents, that changing expectation of parents. And the Suntec campus allows us to be right in the heart of Singapore and have access to all that that area has to offer, whether it be the museums, the art, the history, the culture, and also the sports environments as well. This allows us to have a scaled down campus that can focus on innovation, focus on providing opportunities for our students to really develop these new key skills they need for the future. Especially now that we know that learning has to change, education has to change, it has to evolve since COVID happened.
Wow. So, yes, I guess, I've got two kids at school as well. Education and the way they are learning has definitely changed in the last year. But what are the ways that the classrooms and the learning environments are changing to support this?
I think one thing that COVID has shown us is that how we have to provide our students, our children, the skills they need to be technologically sound.
Right.
We also have to provide them the opportunity to be independent learners, independent thinkers. A lot of online learning has required students to learn from home, be self-sufficient, and driven. So we need to create classrooms and learning environments that will support that. That will provide opportunities for them to have that growth mindset, opportunities for them to have the opportunity to collaborate in small groups, and to capitalize on technology to do their own learning, to do self-directed learning. I think that is something that classrooms need to evolve to meet those needs. Classrooms need to move forward to meet those needs.
So there's going to be a lot of technology there.
Yep, absolutely. But for me, I think technology is a tool, and we have to look at it like a tool. Far too often, technology becomes the focus of education, and it shouldn't be. It's a tool that we use, much like a book or a pencil, to get a deeper understanding of a particular topic or to express ourselves, whether it be using technology to present, or using technology to create an app, or using technology to learn music or develop art. These are just tools, and I think there is a concern with parents about screen time, rightfully so.
Yeah.
Our children have been exposed to so much screen time over the past year and a half. So the intelligent and smart use of embedding technology where and when needed needs to be considered.
And so what about the flip side of that? We talked about the classrooms, they're going to be set up. There's so many different kind of learning areas, not just the classrooms, as I understand at Suntec. Interactive play areas, dedicated extracurricular kind of specialized arts and music areas as well. Is that right?
Absolutely. I think the benefit of Suntec is how we have very large spaces for classrooms. The biggest spaces I've ever seen, and they're wonderful environments. We're going to use those spaces to create breakout areas. Use those spaces to create discovery zones where children can collaborate and communicate and really develop the key skills they need. We're also going to use them for where children can do research, independent research, directed research, self-directed research. and create projects based on that. These spaces are going to be the hubs of learning for Suntec. So although it may be that it's a different model of a classroom, it still has the same purpose, the same, which is to enable our students to develop the skills they need to be successful.
Fantastic. What about outdoor space? Do you have outdoor space at Suntec?
Absolutely. We have access to the Sky Garden,
Oh,
and
wonderful.
we are scheduling opportunities for children to go outside and to read and to do group reading and to reflect. We have a big belief in mindfulness, and especially in this COVID time, mindfulness is very important for the socio-emotional development of our children. So that space we use for those opportunities. And of course, games that they can play as well. That's one outdoor space we have. We also have access to the environment around us that we'll obviously try and capitalize on once the COVID regulations start to ease back. As I mentioned, sports hub, the Client Sports Hub we have there, and there are other opportunities for outdoor education as well.
Fantastic. So you're going to be working with other providers in the local area as well as taking advantage of those other kind of arts facilities that are nearby as well.
Absolutely.
Right on your doorstep. That's so fantastic.
Well, I'm really excited about the fact that we have the museums and the arts and the art galleries there.
Yes.
All of these museums have wonderful education programs that most schools don't get the opportunity to capitalize on because the journey is too far.
Yes.
They may go once a year, twice at most. We're able to go there on a regular basis to capitalize on these educational programs. Say, for example, our students are learning about where they are in place in time, which is an IB unit of inquiry, and they want to learn about Singapore from 50 years ago. Instead of only getting access to what they see on the internet or what they get from books, we can actually go to the museum and learn and do continual visits to the museum and get access to the specialized teachers that are at the museum to talk to our students about that. That's what I'm really excited about, the fact that we get to really use that surrounding environment to support student learning.
That's really fantastic because I think it is difficult to get children interested in using these resources, which are educational, which are interesting, but sometimes at the weekend they don't want to be dragged around for fun. So it's great to get them interested in using those and develop a lifelong love for this kind of environmental education. You know, museums and galleries are fabulous for that.
You mentioned that as well too, about the fact that sometimes children aren't that eager, and it's true. But this is another element of what we want to bring into Suntec, which is blended learning.
Right.
We want to look at how we can use the best practices of in-person education and the best practices of online education to support our students. Children are naturally curious. We want to curate that curiosity. We want to encourage them to go and find the answers on their own. And blended learning will provide that opportunity for them to do that. One example of blended learning that we will be using at Suntec are flipped classrooms, whereby we'll we'll offer videos and online material for children to go and initially explore a topic. Maybe they're exploring a topic such as sustainability. So the teacher will provide them with resources to look into that topic. Then they come to school and they may break into groups and dig deeper into the topic with the facilitation of a teacher who will help them, who will be able to move around the classroom to support them. But they'll be communicating and collaborating with their peers to dig deeper into that topic. Then finally, they may go away again online and watch a presentation by an expert from the National Geographic, because these organizations now have so many online support programs for education. At the end, they can write a report or do a presentation for the class about what they've learned. And most of that has been self-directed, and that independence, that resilience, that growth mindset is being reinforced in this approach. So that's one way Suntec is going to reimagine how we're teaching our children in this post-COVID era.
That's really fantastic to reiterate and enhance those ideas that they're learning, to reinforce them and build in so many different skill sets along the way, in terms of presentation even. You know, it's so great that they can go and be informed and draw out their own interesting points and present them too. That's great. So what I'm really getting is at Suntec, the space. That's really, you know, after so long of being learning from home and being on top of our families, I think it's really fantastic that the children are going to have that opportunity to really feel that freedom again.
Absolutely.
So fantastic.
Well, we're one of the most exciting parts of Suntec is these discovery zones that you've mentioned earlier on.
Yes.
The center of the school is built around these discovery zones.
Okay.
So when children are being dropped off, they're immediately being dropped into our discovery zones. It's near the entrance, and they're going to immediately have opportunities to do play-based learning. Immediately have opportunities to talk and get along with their classmates. Immediately have opportunities to hop on a bicycle and ride around our campus. And engage in running and playing. So there is a large amount of space there for them. And how we choose to use that space is really the strength of Suntec. We want to provide a variety of different opportunities, whether it be play-based, child-initiated, or collaborative opportunities geared towards the different ages of our students. So yeah, we're quite excited about the space, definitely.
Fantastic. And that's great for early learners, especially,
Yes.
you know, where movement is so important. It's intrinsic.
Yep.
In terms of education and helping brain function, right? Movement is just as important. So, just to recap, you're starting with kindergarten,
Yep.
age 3, going up to grade 5, with a view to going up to grade 8 in a few years'
That's
time.
correct.
And what are the class sizes and the number of students in the space that you've got?
Absolutely. So each class won't ever go above 18 in EC1 and EC2,
Right.
20 in EC3, and 24 from grade 1 to grade 5.
Fantastic.
So we'll have small teacher-to-student ratios,
Yeah.
and that also allows us to then work on those the directed learning that I've talked about, that personalized,
Yeah.
individualized learning that I've talked about.
Yeah.
And in those spaces, there are 24 students. There's lots of opportunity for them to break out and to go to different corners and to learn and explore.
Absolutely. I think I was reading that the classroom size is around 1,500 square feet.
110 square meters.
Oh, right, okay.
Give or take. North America.
I won't quibble.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what the conversion is, but yes, they're huge.
But it's big.
It's quite
It's
big.
pretty big.
I think everyone who comes in, I've had a lot of external providers, because we're obviously working with our external providers to bolster our curriculum.
Yes.
And I've had a lot of external providers come to the site, and they're blown away
Yes.
by just the space, the
Yeah.
amount of space we have. And they're excited, you know, whether it be doing taekwondo in that space, or doing drama in that space, or doing fundamentals of sport in that space. There are real opportunities to do great things, including the Suntec site.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for taking the time today to talk us through. Really excited about hearing more and seeing more about the Suntec campus when it opens. If you'd like to see for yourself, at the moment there are online virtual tours which you can sign up for. The next one is this Saturday at 11 a.m. and you can join up through the link which will be on the post just above. So thank you so much once again, Mark.
Thank you for having me, Anju. I really appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Thank you everyone for joining us. See you next time.